Hi everyone, my name is Serena and today I'll be interviewing myself about my disconnection with AI for 24 hours. As a uni student who also works full time, I really depend on these technologies in how I manage my schedule, how I study, how I learn. So it was definitely challenging for the 24 hours that I disconnected, but it gave me a lot of insight into how much I depend on it, and it gave me more of a ground to know how I can work on it in the future if I don't have AI for whatever reason. So the biggest thing for me was realizing how automatic it is for me to use AI and how much it's integrated into my daily routine to the point where it's a subconscious thing for me. So I don't even think about it. I just run things through ChatGPT. And I noticed that when I had to write an email at work, and usually I run all my emails through ChatGPT just to make sure that they're more professional and concise. And because I didn't do it this time, it wasn't impossible, but it gave me more insight into how much of a time saver ChatGPT is, and I had to rewrite the essay, make sure everything made sense. Sorry, not the essay, the email, to make sure it all made sense on a professional level, whereas ChatGPT would have done it for me very quickly. And in terms of uni, I also noticed it with my study because I will usually put large readings into ChatGPT to break it down for me. But because I couldn't do that, it took a lot more time to get through it. So it made me realize how much time I save using ChatGPT just based on how fast it is. So another thing that I disconnected from was my Siri platforms. So with Siri, I use it a lot for keeping up with meetings, or sometimes when I want to put reminders on my phone, I would just say, "Hey Siri, blah, blah, blah." But this time I had to go into my phone, put in the reminder, set the time. So it opened my eyes into how much time I actually save using AI. With the adjustments I had to make a lot, I had to go back to a lot more traditional methods. So keeping a handwritten to-do list throughout the day, and I would check it off throughout the day, which was still efficient, but not nearly as efficient as Siri popping up reminders throughout the day. And at work with my emails, I got a colleague to review a few lines and provide any feedback and before I sent it out to the client, which actually, I realized that it created a stronger sense of collaboration with colleagues and more communication was going on rather than completely relying on AI. And with my uni readings, I would highlight them and summarize them manually, just like how I did when I was in high school without AI. So it reminded me that I still do have these skills. It's just that I rely on AI in terms of having shortcuts, but I don't completely rely on it to the point where I wouldn't survive without it. So the immediate effects that I realized were that I just felt less productive with everything. So everything took longer in terms of, because I didn't have Siri, so I had to rely on my notes and my checklists. And I didn't feel as productive without ChatGPT only because of the time that it took. So with things like writing essays, sometimes I'll get ChatGPT to create me a draft or some dot points, and then I'll put that into an essay. But I didn't have that now, so it really made the process longer. But the subtle effects were actually a lot more interesting because I found myself having more conversations with people at work and at uni. So I was less distracted, I was more present in the moment. And that's very different from me coming out of COVID, where I had to do everything online and then relying on ChatGPT and AI for everything. So this was really a reality check for me that this is how it normally should be, even if we never had AI. So even though I technically got less done overall and it took me longer to get my assignments and my jobs done, it opened my eyes to how the things that I've been ignoring if I was just glued to my phone relying on reminders and AI. So for career development, AI boosts my confidence and my efficiency, and because ChatGPT is proofreading my work, makes me become more prepared for networking and being professional. But what the disconnection showed me throughout the past 24 hours was that it's making me more dependent to it, which is what theorists like to call technological dependency. So I risk losing my independence. And when it comes to if there's ever a day where we can't use AI, it would be a problem. And within organizations, because I was forced to collaborate more with people, I found myself brainstorming with people around me more, and that strengthens your teamwork and your ability to work proactively with other people, which, because I come from the COVID era where I had to do all my exams and my uni online, it's a big shift for me. I think having a good balance is how we can positively use AI instead of completely depending on it. So instead of letting ChatGPT write full drafts for me, I can just use it as a dot point so that even like I can hear my own voice and my own writing rather than completely relying on ChatGPT. And with Siri, in terms of reminders, I could use it for only major deadlines or big reminders like assignments, but smaller everyday sort of reminders, I could train my own brain so that I don't lose my memory. So I think it's good to have a balance because AI should be supporting us, not having us be dependent on it. So if we use it thoughtfully, it can actually enhance our productivity and our confidence and our engagement with the community without being completely too dependent on it. So overall, disconnecting from AI was a bit frustrating, but it was also eye-opening because it made me reflect on how much I rely on these tools. And it also reminded me of the value of human skills and collaboration and authentic connection with other people around me. So going forward, I think I want to use AI a bit more consciously in terms of having a better balance and not so much as a crutch, but more as something that enhances my work and productivity.